Hello, I am Dr. J, and in this video I would write a new model essay number 12. This would be part 1. As you know, we are going to write the type of essay, that is, to what extent do you agree or disagree essay. This is essay writing course in general for any English learner, in particular for IELTS and TOEFL exams. Please subscribe to my channel. Look at the description box for updates and links to my Facebook groups. Like and comment to encourage me. Share with other students to help them, and subscribe and get more, and press bell icon to get more free courses on vocabulary, grammar, writing, speaking, listening and reading also. This is an overview of my essay writing course. I have started from 4 assessment criteria. Then I would go for each then I would teach you general things, for example, time management, how to plan essay, how to generate ideas, paraphrasing, introductions, conclusions and many more videos. Then I would go for each type of essay, discuss both sides, and nowadays we are at to what extent do you agree or disagree essay. I would write more than 15 model essays in my course, and open playlist of my channel and watch complete course in order. Link is given below in the description box. I would write a complete model essay and I would explain you everything step by step. I would intentionally make some mistakes in the essay to test your knowledge. At the end, I would correct the mistakes and would explain you everything in detail. This is our question for today. Living in a country where you have to speak a foreign language can cause serious social problems as well as practical problems. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? So after reading the question, you need to think what kind of essay it is. It is to what extent do you agree or disagree essay. Then you would underline the keywords: living in a country where you have to speak a foreign language, in a country where to speak a foreign language can cause serious social problems as well as practical problems. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? So after that, you have to brainstorm your ideas. First of all, you can see what is the general topic, what is the specific topic, something like that. And then you have to brainstorm your ideas. And to what extent do you agree or disagree essay? You have 3 options to answer the question. Number 1, you can completely agree, you can completely or strongly disagree, and number 3, you can partially agree with the statement. So I mostly like to agree with the question. You can do any of them. I have told you how to write each of these types in my video, how to write to what extent do you agree or disagree essay. So we would brainstorm here our ideas first of all and plan our essay. Practical problems and social problems for living in a country where you have to speak different language, not the same language at your own. So first of all, we would write social problems here. What social problems we can face when we are living in a country where we cannot speak our own language, where we have to speak their own language, a foreign language. For example, social problem with friendships, we cannot make good friendships there. Native people don't want to become friends the with the foreigners, so they are reluctant. Natives are reluctant. Language barrier is one of the causes of. So problem with communication is the same thing as language barrier, something that, and you are not going to live there for a long time. Not long time is also one of the so the other could be social problem, would be cultural differences. What cultural differences can cultural issues or differences? For example, you cannot understand in depth their culture because you have not in depth, not lived there for a long time since childhood, something like that. And cannot understand foreign culture 100%, so you are not cultural shock and something like that. You can write about this social problems. Then would be practical problems. What practical problems we can face when we are in a foreign country? If you have lived in a foreign country, you yourself can think about them. And if you have not lived there, you can think about any your family member or any of your friends that have lived in a foreign country and they have faced some problems. So practical problems, for example, one of the most important is employment or job. Employment or job. So why? Because natives, companies are preferred, natives are preferred because they understand their culture and everything. They understand culture and customs. So foreigners are mostly kept at the end. If they cannot find a native, then they employ a foreigner. And number two could be it is something sometimes very difficult to find a accommodation for rent or to buy because natives don't want to live with the foreigners. And due to cultural and religious or differences, something like that, this is why we cannot, so they have to live in minority communities, etc. Okay, this is a plan of our essay. So how we would plan our essay? First of all, I would write an introduction, then I can easily go for as I agree with this. If you even disagree, you can write first of all why you disagree with practical problems and then why with social problems. I agreed with the question, though I would first write my social problems and why, what are the reasons for social problems, and I would explain it and expand it. Then I would go for practical problems. I would explain the everything here, reasons, ideas, examples, and then I would go for conclusion. Okay, this is an overall structure. You don't need to write this in your plan, but just keep it in your mind while when you are going to finally write. So these are social problems and these are practical problems. Now let us start writing. Let us just have a look at once again at the living in a country where you have to speak a foreign language can cause serious social problems as well as practical problems. So my introduction usually in this type of essays would be a background statement, then paraphrase the question plus give your opinion, If you wish, you can give a touch to main ideas of your essay also. This would be introduction. So let us start writing introduction. Nowadays, just first would be background statement. Nowadays, more and more people for out for is very good vocabulary. Out for to live in a foreign country where they have to communicate in a different language. Nowadays, more and more people out for to live in a foreign country where they have to communicate in a different language. This is background statement, and this is some paraphrasing of uh, a bit paraphrasing of the question also. Then I would go for my opinion, and I could paraphrase the rest of the question here also. In fact, I agree that migrating to these countries have social and practical problems. Instead of problems, impacts. Your negative impacts, you can say. Social and practical impacts are negative impacts. Impacts are used in negative sense. In fact, I agree that migrating to these countries have social and practical impacts. Now my introduction is complete. We have to go for body paragraphs. Firstly, from a social, and in my first paragraph I am going to write social problems from social point of view. Instead of saying social problems, from a social point of view, there are concerns about what? About having friends and understanding foreign culture. This is my topic sentence. This is what I would write in my complete body paragraph. This is just like a headline of newspaper. They're giving a main idea, a main view of your body paragraph. Then let us expand it. Many natives are reluctant to have FOREIGN to have foreign friends because they are often unable to communicate effectively with each other. Why? Due to the language barrier. Due to the language barrier. Look at the spelling of barrier. It is very important. So then many natives are reluctant to have foreign friends because they are often unable to communicate effectively with each other due to the language barrier. Also, as migrants have not lived in the foreign country, I am going to specific a foreign country, through throughout their childhood, they can find it hard to follow. They can find it hard, difficult. They can find it hard to follow conversations as they don't understand much of what is being discussed. Why? As it may relate to local culture. Also, as migrants have not lived in the country throughout their childhood, they can find it hard to follow conversations as they don't under much. This is how the proofreading can be. They cannot understand much of what is being discussed as it may relate to local culture. As they also live here there for a short time, so this is one of the problem also. Moreover, as migrants often live overseas temporarily, they live overseas temporarily, TEMPO. This is O is very important here. Temporarily spelling is very important. For a job or a project, local people find it difficult to have long lasting relationships with them. It is hard to invest time in people when you know that they will leave in the near future. It is hard to invest time in people who when you know that they will leave in the near future. So my first body paragraph is complete, introduction is complete, first body paragraph is complete about 20 minutes in total, but we have spent 1 or 2 minutes in the introductions, something like that, and that is good speed. At the end of after watching my complete essay writing course, you would be able to write very good essays, but I would suggest you to take a writing correction service from any true IELTS expert before taking your final exam. I would also start my correction service in the last 6 months of 2021. I would hire an IELTS expert from UK, a native English teacher especially. We would both work together to provide you advanced, comprehensive and cheap writing correction service. This is my Facebook ID. And stay in touch with me if I can start this service earlier. Also join my Facebook group for any updates. Please subscribe to my channel. Look at the description box for updates and links to my Facebook groups. Like and comment to encourage me. Share with other students to help them, and subscribe and press bell icon, this one, to get more free courses on grammar, writing, speaking, listening and reading also. Thank you very much.